left, nothing safe, not even a crust. All aboard for a fat boy trip, and you can call me captain. Don't forget the paper plates and the stack of napkins. P-I-C-C-A, P-A-R-T-Y. P-I-C-C-A, P-A-R-T-Y. Pizza party, gonna have a good time. Pizza party, have a sip of red wine. Yeah.
Ciao, paisans! Woo! I have been counting down to this show since I woke up this morning. Oh, I have missed all of you so much. Look at you. Oh, you look great. You're ready for the winter. You're ready for your turkey. Happy Thanksgiving. Let me take a look. Your hair looks great. Oh, smelling very nice. You smell like gravy this evening in a good way. Oh, boy, it's great to have all my friends here with us again tonight. Joey Royale's Pizza Party, where we celebrate all things Goodman games, especially, pow, right in the kisser, the greatest role-playing game of all time, Dungeon Crawl Classics. It's been something else, you know? I do the show, I go to the conventions, I do that. But I hadn't really cracked a book in a while until a couple of nights ago, before I went off to Dreamland, just to revisit this old friend. I bet you can ask anybody on the show. Every time I open this book, I find out something new. There's always something fresh and special. Oh, I tell you, I've been busy, but I got a couple of days off for Thanksgiving season, so we're going to have some fun. We're going to roll some dice around the Royale household. I got a little beverage this evening. Tonight, we're enjoying ginger, turmeric, and carrot juice with a little ginger beer, a little mocktail. It's got a little bit of a bite, getting into the festive season. So salud to you and all your friends at home. Foxy sent me a beautiful piece of pizza he got tonight. So cheers to you, Fox, and everybody out there in Spaghetti Land. Oh, that's really good. I just made that up out of my head. So let's dig into it, because we got some crazy guests. We got Dr. Metal. We got Cousin Marty. We got Luscious Levi. We got Dave from Games with Dave, finally joining us after 20 years, after statting up the Ultimate Warrior. And then, ladies and gentlemen, the jackknife, the secret weapon of Goodman Games. Dieter, the Dieter Zimmerman is joining us too. So I'm gonna do a crypto-cool kind of annotated version so we get on with all my great guests. Crypto-cool. All right, here we go. Man, I got some cool. All right, so let's go this way first. All right, I'm still unpacking from Gen Con. I got a sick haul, and I'm finally flipping through and actually ingesting and digesting some of the stuff I picked up. Reverend Dak, I love you, pal. Here we go. Crawl number 13. He's not stopping. Pick it up, or you're crazy. Crawl number 13. This one's great. I got number 4 out of 100. That rascal individually numbered each one. So you got the collector blood going in me. But this one is very special. I finally cracked it open, and I think all my friends are going to like this one. This issue is called Death Crawl, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a death match. Not death crawl, death match. And it's beautiful. It's all about running a death match. And he says in the beginning, what's a death match? A death match is a deadly game played between several characters, and the winner is usually the last one to survive. It's like Thunderdome for DCC. It's crazy. It's a bunch of crazy puzzle rooms, trap rooms, and all that while you're fighting each other. You're picking up weapons. You're picking up slices of cake. I love this. This really speaks to me. This one's only 5 clams. Go pick it up. I think it's on the Goodman Games website. Speaking of the Goodman Games website, what's Thanksgiving without a little bit of capitalism? Go over to the Goodman Games website. Pow! 40% off most things. And they even got a sale on the third-party publishers. Put a little bit of skrill in their pocket. Got some great stuff. I think I'm making my want list for Friday. And I'm not trying to sell you anything here. I don't get no cut of it. But I'm a fan, and so are you. So I think I'm going to get that DCC number 100. I didn't pick that up yet. the music of the Spheres of Chaos. That looks crazy. And then what else did I write down? Oh, man. How can I got to get this guy in the show, too. Foxy had him on, but Loot, my friend, Loot the Body. He's been on Raviolis for Randy. We've had him around the block a little bit. He's part of the Goodman Games group now, part of the family. Skate Wizards! You're nuts! You're nuts if you don't pick up Skate Wizards. You can't go wrong. You got wizards, you got skateboards, and you got some of the coolest art in the business. Highly, highly recommend. That gets 5 slices over here from your Uncle Joey. Check that out. Very good. And, I got to pick up a couple of copies. I love that referee booklet. It's cheap, but it's got all the things. You get a couple of them thrown around the table. Those went like hotcakes at Gen Con, and I think they got a couple more of those in. So that's part of the Crypto Cool. I recently finished this. This is probably old news to some people, but Die. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! A fantasy heartbreaker. This was an intense read. Long story short, it's a trade paperback, a collection of individual comics. It's hard to explain, but basically it's a group of kids playing a role-playing game that get sucked into the game. Friendships are made, friendships are lost. But the really cool thing is, in the back, there are rules for the role-playing game. So a very poignant, touching story, very deep. And if you're into comics, like a lot of us hooligans are, Die, Fantasy Heartbreaker Volume 1, a beautiful, beautiful piece of work there. And I saw my guests giving a lot of thumbs up. Written by Kieran Gillen, artist by Stephanie Hans, letterer Clayton Cowles. Beautiful stuff right there. Highly recommend. Got to recommend a classic. I probably brought it up before, but once again, I cracked this open 2 weeks ago, and Big Mike Curtis never fails to impress. This one, I can't push this one enough. Intrigue at the Court of Chaos. If somebody's like, hey, what's this DCC about? Show them a funnel, but then have them read or play this. I haven't played it yet. If anybody wants to play this with me, please, I'd love to be a player at your table to experience as a player. Intrigue at the Court of Chaos. Beautiful book. I'm not sure if it's still in print. We'll have to ask Dieter when he comes on. Got into an interesting conversation over a nice meal with a friend. We were discussing Simon Sinek, who is, he writes a lot of books about business and leadership. Start with the why, which I think is very interesting, but I won't go deep into that. But I started thinking about the why, as I always do, about role-playing games, because I realized, I talk about it, I write, I do all this, but I haven't had the opportunity to play in a while. I've been building a shed with my dad on Sunday mornings, so I haven't been able to play with my group lately. So I'm out of the loop. So I feel like kind of a phony always talking about role-playing games, but I haven't really had the time to play lately. And I started thinking about, other than the beautiful art and the wonderful people I've met in this community, why am I so drawn to this experience? And I think I'm going to go back to this book, The Power of Myth by Joseph Campbell. I've read The Hero of a Thousand, The Thousand Faces and The Hero's Journey, but The Power of Myth, I think, is much more foundational. And I'll just crack it real quick. I right as I was waiting to get on the Zoom, I just opened to a random page. People say that what we're all seeking is a meaning for life. I don't think that's what we're really seeking. I think that we are seeking is an experience of being alive, so that our life experiences on the purely physical plane will have resonances within our own innermost being in reality, so that we actually feel the rapture of being alive. The experience of life. Pretty neat. I've had some heroes go on journeys in my games that have resonated with me for a long time, and they still occupy that space in my mind. Do any of you have that character that you played or that you encountered, whether it was recent or from a long time ago when you were a little kid, that still sticks in your mind? I bet you do, and I bet you could name that character and either how they lived in glory or how they died in glory or shame. So pretty cool stuff. I'm going to get back down, work out the mind a little bit with Joseph Campbell. Big surprise. I haven't even told my my crew behind the scenes yet. I got a box today from Mix'em. Yes, I got a box from Mix'em. Going up pretty soon. Here we go. Here we go. Bam! The Life, Death, and Undeath of Sherman Glimp. Ooh, this is a brand new, literally hot off the presses from Get Haunted Industries. That's right. Your friend, the Shermster, has been bitten by a vampire. He has turned a nocturnal vigilante against the forces that turned him. Will Fairhaven make it? Will Sherman be completely overcome by the darkness of vampirism? I hope not. I hope not. My friend Scott Cthulhu, how you doing, Scotty baby? I'm thinking of you. Got a sneak preview, and he found out a couple of Easter eggs that link this to vampire blood. So I'm very excited to get this out into the world. I'll have some copies of this down at PAX U at the Goodman Games booth. They're just hanging out with my friends, so I'll see you there. It's time for a wisdom check. Boom, 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 boom. Wisdom. Here we go. Tonight's wisdom comes from the lovely mind of my old friend Epictetus. And here he says, this is important. I want to be a star, all right? I want this to be my entire life. Probably not going to happen. I should be happy with what I have because I got a lot. Listen to this. How easily dazzled and deceived we are by eloquence, job title, degrees, high honors, fancy possessions, expensive clothing, or a suave demeanor. Don't make the mistake of assuming that celebrities, public figures, political leaders, the wealthy, or people with great intellectual or artistic gifts are necessarily happy. To do so is to be bewildered by appearances and will only make you doubt yourself. Remember, classic stoicism right here. The real essence of good is found only within things under your own control. If you keep this in mind, you won't find yourself feeling falsely envious or forlorn, pitifully comparing your accomplishments to others. Stop aspiring to be anyone other than your own best self, for that does fall within your control. And then I open up our old friend Austin Kleon. Boom, like magic, it connects. This one really hit me lately. Oh, the worst thing about a day job is that it takes away time from you, but it makes up for that by giving you a daily routine in which you can schedule a regular time for your creative pursuits. Establishing and keeping a routine can even be more important than having a lot of time. Inertia is the death of creativity. You have to stay in the groove. When you get out of the groove, you start to dread the work because you know how it's going to suck for a while. It's going to suck until you get back into the flow. Nobody's saying it's going to be fun. A lot of times it will feel as if you're living a double life. The poet Philip Larkin said the best thing to do is try to be utterly schizoid about it all, using each personality as a refuge for the other. Ooh, who's got a werewolf inside of him? I know a couple friends who got that werewolf inside of them. The full moon is shining bright tonight. Let's see what the stars say. As always, I pull a card right before the show from my Garbage Pail Kid official tarot, and we got a banger tonight, my friends. The stars are aligned. The muse blows us a kiss from the Knight of Swords. Look at that one. That's DCC for you. Pow! The Knight of Swords upright says, the Knight of Swords puts real action and momentum behind their goals. This card is assigned to change boldly in the direction of your dreams with the determination and might of Mad Mike. Now's the time to make your move, particularly when it comes to communication and revealing your grand ideas. You've been brainstorming and planning for a while. I know you have. I see you. The world is ready to hear what you have to say. Boy, that's a good one, huh? That get the juices flowing. Mucho, mucho amor, as Walter Mercado says. All right, we're going to move on. I get everything? Yeah, go to the sale, read a bunch of books that I threw at you. Hey, really cool article on the Goodman Gage site right now about Earl Norham, the guy who did some of the art for He-Man. Check that out. Beautiful. Chef's kiss stuff right there. A lot of great stuff. Hey, congratulations to everybody that was either nominated or received a goodie. If you haven't watched that episode of the Goodie Awards, it's every emotion in the world. And I won't get deep into it because I'll get choked up a little bit. But I don't have to tell you, you're watching the Joy Royale's Pizza Party. This community is second to none. Goodman Games has always been awesome, but it seems like there's been an epiphany for even more people, just how special this community is, just how wonderful these products and games are. I hate to even call them products, but at the end of the day, we're selling stuff. Their experiences and their friendships. Joseph Goodman, thank you very much. And everybody else on the Goodman Games team. Elena, you were my submission for Goodie recipient, but then I realized they weren't taking employees. But I just wanted to say on behalf of everybody, we love you so much. And thank you for all you contribute virtually and in person to the Goodman Games community. So you get a big kiss on the cheek from me right there. All right. Now, I'm going to introduce a friend of mine that's become a very good friend of mine, very close to me over the past couple of months, a very talented individual that once again sacrifices a whole bunch of his time to make the world a better place. Elena, can we please bring in my friend, Dave from Games with Dave. Dave, how you doing, my friend?
What's up, brother? How are you?
It's very good to see you.
It's good to see you.
For the uninitiated, let's give them all a quick elevator pitch about the beautiful work that you do with your video podcast.
So I run the Games with Dave YouTube channel, and I interview primarily third-party publishers because I think it's extremely important to promote the third-party end of games. And yeah, I talk about a lot of fun stuff with them, from their games, horror movies, you name it. I mean, cousin Marty and I talked for almost 5 hours one Saturday night.
He's not joking, folks. If you have 5 hours to kill, you're going on a long trip. Neon Lord and Dave literally had a 5-hour conversation. It's recorded. Nuts. It's on YouTube, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's epic, man. That's got to be a friggin' record.
Well, then I went 4 hours with Father Goose.
Did you? Oh,
yeah,
man.
So
another friend.
Yeah, it's weird how like some of these interviews, they go quickly and other ones will last 4 or 5 hours. And I love talking to people, you know.
And you do a great job at it. It was
thank you.
Immediate connection. So a couple of months ago, you answered the call of Stat It Up. We haven't done this in a long time because nobody was responding, but you responded. Here's our friend, Hasbro's Ultimate Warrior with leaping action. Look at that. Hey, I can't wait to see Dita. Ow! From parts unknown. Crash the plane. Crash the plane. So, Dave, stat it up. Bring this guy to life in the DCC world.
All right. So, as you know, it took me a few months to get this done, and I definitely struggled with it because I'm new to DCC and I'm still kind of feeling the rules out and learning everything about it. But I changed it from parts unknown, as from hailing from a once great land of warriors, the most ultimate of warriors fights to honor his people's legacy by protecting their sacred land. Beautiful. With a mighty clap of thunder and a bolt of lightning, the most ultimate of warriors will appear unto anyone defiling his people's sacred land. And I gave him a +4 to initiative, AC of 16. I figure this guy's basically deified, so he's going to be.
Yeah, I think he's in the pantheon. I would agree.
And across the board with the saves, I gave him a +7.
All right.
Just because
high level business here.
Yeah, you're not going to mess with the Ultimate Warrior, man. You go onto his turf.
What about powers? What makes this guy special?
Well, he's got a lot of wrestling moves. I didn't see it. I don't know of any rules for wrestling. Someone here tonight can inform me if there are any for DCC. So I just kind of wung it and made some up myself. I have the charging clothesline, which he has a +4 to, and it does 1d6.
Nice.
The Thunder Punch, which is channeling his inner warrior, the most ultimate of warriors, will deliver a mighty blow from his fist unto his opponent, which is a +5 and deals 1d8 damage. And then the grapple to wrestling move, which is where I really struggled, and I probably could have just reached out to someone and been like, hey, can you give me a hand with this? But I'm stubborn and I wanted to figure it out myself.
Okay. All right.
So I just did a +2. And what it is each party makes an opposed attack roll, adding the higher of either their agility or strength mod. And the mods go up based on the attacker's size, from a +4 to a +8 all the way up to a +16 if this thing were like a real monstrosity and
Okay.
the Ultimate Warrior could grapple him. And if the attacker, being the Ultimate Warrior or the most ultimate of warriors, were to win the opposed roll, he has grappled his opponent and can now perform a wrestling move. And I did a D7 table of wrestling moves with a 1 being the Face Buster, which deals 1d6 + 3.
Yeah.
The 2 is the Pile Driver, 1d8 + 4. I
Nice.
probably made them a little OP, but you know, it's DCC.
Yeah. That's all right.
And the 3, I did the Front Face Slam for 1d8 + 4. 4, I did the Spine Buster, 1d6 + 3. 5, I did the Suplex, 1d8 + 4. 6 is the Backbreaker, 1d6 + 3. And then the big move is the most ultimate of warrior signature move, the Gorilla Press to Splash. Yeah. And I did that of 1d10 + 10.
That's awesome. He should be that strong. It's the Ultimate Warrior. He's the ultimate. It's not like second place warrior. He's the ultimate, so they should have the ultimate powers.
That's right. And then I did the Face of Fear. And he'd always get all sweaty and his paint would start to come off.
Yeah.
So I said, as his face paint cracks, the most ultimate of warriors will turn to an opponent and let out a thunderous and terrifying yell. And you roll a D3 at this point. And he can do one of 3 things, which is cause you to faint for 1d3 rounds.
Okay.
He can cause you to run from the 2 will cause you to run from the fight at full movement speed for 1d3 rounds.
All right.
And then the 3 is going to get you to go hysterical for 1d3 rounds of either laughing, crying, or screaming from his.
I love this. So it's not just melee. You worked in the emotions into this too.
Yeah. And I was going to do something with his elastics that he always wore on his arm.
Tassels.
But
the
tassels. And I ran out of ideas at that point.
Hey, I think you filled that cupcake up with a lot of That's a great one. Well, listen, I'm gonna have you send me over the text. And I'm going to add that to this master file, if you don't mind, that I'm working on. Maybe get somebody to do a little bit of art. And eventually, we're going to have a statted up little zine that we're going to do for charity. You down with that, Dave?
Heck yeah, absolutely.
Dave, I know you probably got a big old turkey in the oven, but you got time to stick around and hang out with the guys for a little bit?
Absolutely.
All right. Elena, without further ado, could you please bring in my crazy cousins, Dr. Metal and Cousin Marty?
Yo, Joey.
Hey!
What's up?
You guys coming over tomorrow? They're gonna put the chairs out for you.
Of course. A chair on the porch from Benny's for me to sit in.
Oh, nice. Hey, wait, I forgot Luscious Levi, too. Jesus, I got to bring him in. Maro.
He's in.
There he's. Hey, unmute, you knucklehead. There he is. All right. Oh, the gang's all here. Look at these beautiful. Oh, man, look at them all. Oh, what a
crew.
This is all rotten apples. Good to see all of you. What's been going on? Let's start with Dr. Metal. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing good. How's everybody else?
All right.
Good.
It's great to see you. Thanks for making time from your busy schedule, rocking and saving lives. What do you got for us tonight? What'd you bring to this crazy cornucopia of food?
So my mailbox was all full of Tim. A lot of Tims. So I'm going to show you. Remember the old song, These Are the Guys Named Dave I Know?
Yeah, I was just going to say, these are the guys Dave I know. These are the Daves I know.
These are the guys named Tim I know.
All right, let's get Timified.
All right. Okay, so the first one that I have, I've had them on here before. The Country Meat Grinder
I got to get this.
Classics.
Yep. Country Meat Grinder Classics.
There is a third of these that's just been released by Mr. Tim Snyder. That you can get. It's coming out soon and could come to a mailbox soon if you get a hold of him.
Yeah.
I believe it's called the Witch Harvest, and witch is spelled with a Y, which makes it more metal. So you know that was me. Also maybe so that one's really good. And
I'll put that on my list for Black Friday.
He puts out nothing but good stuff. Bad is good in my world. And I can't wait to grab that one. The next Tim that showed up in my mailbox was Tim Satley with the Horror at the Merc.
What's that? That's new to me.
It's an MCC book. And it's got a nice Ed Bickford art to it.
That's
It
gorgeous.
looks pretty awesome. Also has some original MCC concept art by Jim Wampler himself.
I want to meet that guy.
So if you're a historian or a fan of Jim or Tim, pick it up. It looks pretty cool. I can't wait to run it. I love me some MCC. You guys know that.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of Tim and Jim, you can't have Jim Wampler without Tim Kask.
Yep.
And this is a bit of a stretch, but there he is right there in his Civil War general costume.
Yes.
Ian told me straight up. He said, "What do you want for the cover?" He goes, "He kind of looks like Tim Kask, so make him Tim Kask."
That's awesome. That's from our friend Ian, right? Ian McCarty?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yes, it
that's
is.
great.
Ian McGarty and Rocky Gardner.
Rocky's a sweetheart,
Silver
isn't he?
Blaze.
Yeah, good
That's
people.
the Luscious Levi's independent Legion of Doom.
Yeah, they're like the Solomon Grundy and Sinestro of the Legion.
Nice.
Anyways,
picks.
and then I got one more because of all the Tims I know, it's got to be Tim D.
Love him.
Always plug this classic that Tim and Mr. Joey Royale wrote.
Very proud of that work. And who knows? 2024 might just be volume 2. We have we have a meeting coming up soon. So
If it's not called Two of Us, then you've missed the mark.
So
Google Gobble.
just one little thing like this. My kids like to watch the videos where they tell you all the cool things to order when you go to like the restaurant that are off the menu.
Yes.
You could take this fine piece of literature and the gaming mechanics and take these two books and they work together like you wouldn't believe.
That's
So
a great call.
I'm looking forward. I'd like to run this sometime soon for some people and put the mashup together. Maybe sprinkle in a little bit of the best of the Weird Frontiers with it too. But
I think they're all overlap. One of my favorite gaming memories ever was playing with you, Dr. Metal, when you played your character Priscilla.
she was amazing.
She was amazing. Yep, with her big beehive. That was a great game. Well, thank you very much for diving into the Tim Zone.
Yeah, that's a lot of Tims.
Neon Lord.
Well, I became unprepared, so I have just a couple. I mean, for the season, I kind of came prepared, but long story short. So you got to have the Home Alone soundtrack on vinyl.
Oh, wow.
If you're gonna listen, if you're gonna listen to something,
is that all like orchestral, or are there
no? So you have all like the actual, like the Alan Jackson, A Holly Jolly Christmas, the Fox Albert Choir, My Christmas Tree, John Williams, of course, TLC Sleigh Ride.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
showing the
that's right
second
up
one.
my alley.
See, now I'm disappointed. I was hoping it would be the cast. Like, I'd like to hear Fuller singing "Oh Holy Night."
Interesting. Fuller is one of the Macaulay Culkin's younger brother.
Is he the one that pees the bed?
Fuller
Yes,
wets
he
the
is.
bed.
Yeah.
I don't want to sleep next to Fuller. He wets the bed. And then my other pick is
Oh,
on
yeah.
Vinyl,
Yes.
See You
There
Man,
it is, right
Macho
there,
Man, Randy
Macho!
Savage, one of the
Classic.
greatest albums of all time.
Oh,
Now on
hail
vinyl.
Lord Randy Poffo.
Yeah, you want to talk about Ultimate Warrior? Well, you got the Macho Man.
Straight up
Thank you very much.
maniacism.
Now you got a little deal going on now, don't you? You put something out.
I don't think so.
Didn't you put something out on Drive Through the other day? Something a little special.
Oh, yeah, it was a out of print little adventure. It's like Night of the or Killbots Run or Die. So
Yeah,
it's just free
great
on-
job selling yourself.
Well, I forgot about it. It's just free. It's free on the drive-through. You just go download it. It's no big deal.
Ever since he went corporate, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get Neon Lord stuff on the Goodman Games website as well. They sold out, didn't they?
We're about to sell out for the second time. There's only 2 copies
Whoa.
left.
Hell
All
yeah.
right, my man.
Nice.
That's great.
That's
The
awesome.
little Neon Lords are gonna have a nice little Christmas. Luscious Levi, how you doing, pal?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
What do you got going on?
Oh, I've got a family gathered for Thanksgiving. Everything's in order. We're all settling in for a good holiday, man.
Did you bring something from your crypt?
Oh, I did indeed. I brought this guy.
Whoa!
All right. So behold,
Look at that.
this is the
That is
mummified
incredible.
corpse of Tokazektil. He's the cast-off undead, I don't know, fetus baby of the great bat god, Quetzalcoatl, the fire bat.
Wow.
So this could definitely be a future installment of Statted Up. 100%.
I think so. That is incredible. Where'd you pick that one up, buddy?
Well, little gaff shop in, I want to say it was New Jersey. No. Really? Sorry, it was Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll have to, if that's still around, we might have to hit that up when we get on to Pass You.
Unfortunately, it's not, because I called this guy a couple years ago, and I was like, hey, I used to come into your shop. He goes, well, you didn't come in enough. I'm closed.
To everybody out in Spaghetti Land, Levi and I collect sideshow gaffs. Gaffs are artistically made specimens that show the darker side of nature, like Fiji mermaids and like this two-headed bat god and pickled punks, etc.
Yeah,
that's very well done.
Cheeks, man. It's a great one. This is a really sturdy one, and again, this would be a great candidate for Statted Up. 100%.
Let's do it. Let's put it out there. That will, folks, out there in Spaghetti Land, the two-headed offspring of the bat god. Let's see what you can do out there. I know you freaks can do something. All right, let's
coming
go.
To Punjar soon.
Very nice. I brought these two I wanted to share to go along with it. I was going through my collection, like Levi. I'm sure he has some too. I have some very old rings of giants. And you're probably familiar with these, Levi. See these bad boys? So very tall people used to sell these. They're probably made out of lead at the sideshow to make extra money. Like this one says, Jack Earl, 8'6", Jack the Giant. And then I got a really special one that I love. That is the world's tallest. What is this one here? The tallest. Oh, no, this one. The world's tallest married couple. So they used to go around and make these. That's a great one. And there's a biography for each one of these. Here's the lucky ring. That was for the Viking giant. Very cool stuff. You can still pick up these on eBay and here and there for relatively reasonable prices. Most of these are from the 30s to the 50s. But cool idea for statting it up too, some giant rings. Well, I'm glad the family's all here because I got my long-lost cousin all the way from Louisville. Ladies and gentlemen, Elena, please unlock the basement door for the one, the only, the Z-Man, Dieter Zimmerman. How are you, buddy?
Doing great. How are you?
Yeah, added some class to the show.
What I'm here for.
I was immediately struck by your warmth and friendliness and inclusivity when I ran into you for the first time at Gen Con. I was honored to be on Picks from the Print Mine where I first met you, but to meet you in person and spend that week together was something very special. Thank you.
It was a pleasure to be with you too, Joey.
You were just such a cool guy. You made me feel welcome. So I wanted to have you on the show as a thank you for all that you do, but just to share more about this. You have a very mysterious persona, Dieter. I did some research on you, and like I said, you're a magical jackknife. So you are one with the theater. You are a musician. You are a writer. You do all these wonderful things. What are you doing right? What are you working on right now?
What am I working on right now? Or what am I supposed to be working on right now?
Let's do that. What are you supposed to be working on?
So working on right now, I am well, let's see. Musically, I'm learning to play bass.
Nice. That's not easy. People think that's just 4 strings and you do scales. It's much more than that.
It's going great. I feel like bass is the instrument I was meant to play.
Yeah, so I can see
I'm really
that.
excited about it.
Yeah.
writing wise, the next deadline that's coming up is I'm working on the game Garbage and Glory for Wet Ink Games. It's a kind of D&D, but you're all raccoons.
Oh,
Get me a garbage.
nice. That sounds great.
So we did the Kickstarter for that a while back, and now it's time to buckle down and get it out to the people.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
Now-
good folks, man. They make great games.
They really do.
What is that company again?
Wet Ink?
Oh yeah, okay. Now you've been with the company, you've been with Goodman for a long time.
For a long time. I my first published thing with Goodman, I think, was 2004, and then I went to Gen Con in 2005 and ran a bunch of stuff, and I've been at Gen Con pretty much every year for Goodman since 2005.
Dude, we're talking 20 years.
Almost 20 years. Yeah, a long damn time.
How did you get on the hook with Goodman? What would like?
Oh, well,
there's a lot of companies out there.
That's an interesting story. You know Keith Baker, right?
Yeah.
In a roundabout way, it's Keith Baker's fault that I got involved with Goodman Games. One of my good friends in college, Matt, was part of my gaming group. We played games all the time, but after we graduated, Matt moved to Colorado, where he met this guy named Keith, who at that time nobody knew who the hell he was. He was just, this dude, whatever.
Yeah.
But they became friends and they gamed together a lot. But Keith was working on some books for Goodman when he had to start writing this Eberron thing. And so he called Matt in to help him finish the stuff he was writing for Goodman.
I see where this is going.
A couple more years down the road, Matt called me in to help write some stuff, and it all just kind of spiraled from there.
Wow, that's an epic hero's journey. Very good. Now you work in the theater business, yes?
I do some theater, yes. I work at a theater in Louisville. Not as an actor, though.
You're a behind the scenes guy.
I'm in front of this. I'm in front of the scenes. Like, I'm out in the lobby. I'm the house manager.
I see. Okay, but I bet you got that acting thing in you, though. You just kind of exude that.
I've done acting before. Yes.
And you love the Renaissance scene.
I love the Renaissance Fair. Yes, that's where I do a lot of my acting and music stuff.
And when it comes to music, what other instruments? I know you're working on the bass, but we had a quick conversation at Gen Con about you and I maybe working on something for Shutter Mountains music.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that. Yeah. So I play some guitar. Like, I'm one of those guys, I can play a little bit of almost everything, but I'm not really good at any of it.
I doubt that. But Dieter and I are going to be at the Goodman Games booth at PAX U in just a couple of weeks.
That's right.
We're going to be down there with Luscious Levi. The Neon Lord's going to be there. So many friends are going to be there. My head is about to explode. I got my train ticket, so I'm going to be flying down there Thursday afternoon after school gets out. Anybody if you're in the chat, let me know if you're going to be at PAX U. Stop by the Goodman Games booth. I'd love to see you. Neon Lord, you're going to be at the Library of Alexandria booth?
Yeah. No, I'll be down in the library running games or at the booth hanging out with Dieter.
And Levi, you're
Dieter specifically.
You're going to stop by and see me? Okay.
Of course. Well, I mean, I have about 12 boxes for you, so yeah.
That's true.
So
Levi, you're going to be down there, right? Just chilling?
Yeah, I'll be bouncing between the Exalted Funeral booth and Goodman booth, because that's for all the people. Yeah, that's all the people that I like for there. So,
and then hopefully in a couple months after that, we're going to see Dr. Metal and Dave at TotalCon in Massachusetts. So that's going to be another banger. I'm going to have a booth with the Neon Lord, and the Neon Lord is also going to be running the Goodman Games table, right?
Yep.
So get ready for some toxic slime and some public access and ninjas and all sorts of.
That's going to be a wild one. I got a
couple of months coming up, guys.
Oh yeah.
So Dieter, we can talk about. I play the banjo. We can talk about possibly a Shutter Mountains project with Michael's blessing. I think that would be really fun.
Awesome. I would love to.
So, guys, I brought everybody. Now we're all around the table. And Dieter, you're into music. The guys that I'm in the threads with, we talk all day long about music. But I gave you all a slice of homework before we started tonight. I wanted to ask everybody's, and I'm going to make let me just get into it. I'm excited. I'm putting the cart before the horse here. All right. The soundtrack, the perfect soundtrack to a wizard duel. I've seen wizard duels. I've watched them online. I've never played one. They seem like they're crazy. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, but I've been in the music mode. I got the radio show Saturday night, WCNIradio.org from 9 p.m. to midnight. I'll be on this weekend. But I wanted to ask you all, because you all have such distinct tastes. What is a one or two tracks you think would be epic for a wizard duel? I'll start with Dieter.
Okay, well, I took this assignment very seriously.
I bet.
And I have a lot to say on the issue, so I'm going to try to go through it quickly and stop me.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so most people agree that the DCC music vibe is kind of a stoner metal fantasy, like Sabbath and The Sword and bands like that. So that's kind of where I started looking at stuff, and I went straight to St. Karloff's Spellburn song because that seems like an obvious choice. But that wasn't quite it. It gets an honorable mention, but that's not quite.
Okay.
In a similar vein, I went to Glitter Wizard and listened to their song about Wizard Wagon. Wizard Wagon would be a good spell duel song, but it wasn't quite there either. So I thought about it, and I'm going to say something kind of controversial now. But the Garbage Pail Kids told me that the world is ready.
Yeah.
So even in the context of DCC, like wizards, they're not your normal people. So like that kind of metal rock stuff, that's the Warriors. Wizards are cut from a different cloth entirely. The wizard comes.
I'm into this.
He's like, I am amazing. I am the best thing ever, and I will solve your problem. And you're going to look at me and be like, So wizards are rappers in a rock and roll universe. Wizards are rappers. And I found a track by a group called the Wizards. Wizards Never Die. I'm going to put it in the chat.
On my list, I cut it off the list because of the swearing involved.
Right. I'm not going to tell you what the lyrics are or anything. But even that wasn't quite there because like it doesn't hit as hard. So I think really the perfect soundtrack to a wizard duel is a rap battle.
Okay.
So you go to like watch like the ending of 8 Mile or something, and that's your wizard duel right there.
Hot take by the Z-Man himself. I like the amount of thought you put into that. Oh, well played. That with his epic spell, Mom Spaghetti. That's great.
From the Pastanomicon.
Yeah, from the Pastanomicon. That's great. Uncle Dave, what did you get?
Well, I had one from a band in St. Louis. It's actually called Wizard Battle by this band called Dino Fight.
Okay.
And it was 2 women and 1 guy, and the last album they put out was in 2016. It was called Warrior Princess. And they've got a song on Warrior Princess called Wizard Battle, which fits perfectly.
It sounds like it, yeah.
And I had a second cheese factor one being Fight to Survive from Bloodsport.
Oh,
great song.
Okay. I like that. I like that very much. I have my friend, of course, I went to my resident best friend wizard, Mr. Wayne, and Wayne from the Wizard Van, Mr. Wayne Snyder, and he said, Wizard Fight from Weed Eater, which is an awesome call. I love Weed Eater. But he said, that's too easy. It comes to mind. And then he's got this other band he sent me. Now, like I said, I'm taking all of these. I'm going to make a Spotify soundtrack, and I'm going to put it on the DCC RPG Rocks site. But his other one that was sick was Ufa Mammoth, UFOMAMMUT. You're shaking your head, Dieter. With the song Supernova. So that's the one he said. Very heavy and stoner. Very cool. Metal Man, what do you got?
Oof, this is the one.
Oh, so I had 3. Okay, so the first one that came to mind was Hocus Pocus by Focus.
Yes. Absolutely love that one.
And the reason I say it is like when I think of a wizard fight, there's it's got to be fast, it's got to be crazy. It has to have stuff you don't expect.
Yes.
Like yodeling.
Yeah.
Corruption. I mean, corruption is such a mechanic to a wizard fight that you need that kind of stuff in there. So that was the first one that came to mind. Then I gotta get metal in there because it's my last name. I'm gonna go with it's a tip to the Neon Lords neighborhood. I'm gonna go with Extremes. Do you want to play?
That was on my list too. I cut it off the list. But yeah, that was on my list too. Fantastic pick.
It's just got a ripping solo. It's got the intro. It's Bill and Ted's adventure tearing up the mall.
Yep.
And then one, I don't know why, but it popped in my head as this is a Wizard Duel song if I've ever heard one. Rock Lobster by the B-52.
Oh, I love it. I'm a huge Fred Schneider fan. Wow, that's great. Yeah,
It just
good.
seems
Rock
like
Lobster.
the kookiest thing ever, and wizards are kooky as all get out.
I love it. Everybody had matching towels. Right, that's great.
Matching towels.
Levi, how about you?
I don't know, man. I'm a little bit more pedestrian in my choices here. Everybody really went, they went into the dark corners. But for me, when I think of a wizard battle, I'm thinking of offensive spells. There's lightning clashing. There's rays going everywhere, explosions, the whole 9 yards. The whole environment is being restructured and reshaped. So the spell that came to mind was Magic Missile. And to accompany Magic Missile, because that's on every wizard spell list, right?
Sure.
The spell that goes with that is Metallica's Seek and Destroy.
Yeah, that's a great
from
one.
Kill 'Em All.
Yeah.
Which that whole album is crunchy and dirty, and it just it's what's
Great
one of the
one.
best. So Seek and Destroy, just perfect. And I actually gave it a listen right before we came on, and it's still a banger. It's still great. And then going kind of on along with that theme, when I thinking of offensive spells and things zipping across the dungeon corridor, lightning bolt. You got to think about that's another one of those. It's like fireball. It's on every wizard's spell list. And to accompany lightning bolt, I went with Thunderstruck by AC/DC.
Good one. Good one.
Again, these are very pedestrian choices. However, I think they're pitch perfect. Which leads me to my third choice, which is probably from a band no one's ever heard of. They're from my hometown of Fayetteville, Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas, and it's a band called Monster Skull. And they have an entire album that is dedicated, that is all about the Tomb of Horrors. The whole thing.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's
check
called
it out.
The Face of the Great Green Devil.
Wow.
You can find it on Spotify.
Okay, all of you got to send me this stuff, but Levi, I'm really interested in that.
Yeah, they're calling out everybody. They're calling out Orcus, and they've got songs after spell names, the whole 9 yards. It's a really good album. Really, really, really tight, and I wish more people knew about them. But I'm telling you, Monster Skull, the Face of the Great Green Devil.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Very cool.
What do you got, Neon Lord?
So I went dark. I mean, wizards, right? Like the collection of esoteric knowledge is corrupt, absolutely, right?
Yeah.
So my initial pick was like Mastodon, like High Road, and Municipal Waste, Sadistic Magician.
Yeah.
But like Black Dahlia Murder, What a Horrible Night to Have a Curse.
Love it.
The big pick was the Behemoth album, I Loved You at Your Darkest. 2018, fantastic album from beginning to end of Wizard Battle. But my all-time pick, Symphonic Black Metals, Dimmu Borgir, Progenies of the Great Apocalypse.
Nice.
Is my pick of a song. It's symphonic, it's crazy, it's everything you would think in a black metal wizard battle.
This is going to make for the sickest set list of all time. So one of my first picks, and Brian, you turned me on to them, was let me look at my list here. Dark Throne with Transylvanian Hunger. Because I picture a wizard battle, like I'm picturing 4 wizards, each very, very different, very, very hermetic and strange and tapped, right? So I got Transylvanian Hunger by Dark Throne. Then I got Danny Elfman, The Breakfast Machine from Pee-wee's Big Adventure,
Yes.
That guy over there. Got that creep over there doing that. And then if you listen to my radio show, one of my favorite musicians of all time, my musical minds, is Mort Garson. And that whole album, Ataraxia, if you ever listen to The Adventure Zone, that's like one of his songs is their opening theme, like the Moog keyboard and all that. So that whole Mort Garson album, Ataraxia, has the 70s synth part. So you're shooting over there. And then you got Cthulhu Dawn by Cradle of Filth over in the other corner. Yeah. So it's like you got the mix. And I think everybody, and that's the funny thing, there was a very organic thread in this conversation, gentlemen. Like, we all immediately went to the metal, but then we realized there's this other strange part of Wizards where they're not necessarily the badass that's on top of the mountain. As I have gotten deeper and deeper into DCC and to some of my Appendix N stuff that I've been reading, I start to reimagine them as these kind of like old creeps. And that gives me comfort, like the weirdos in greasy robes with bad haircuts. I love that, and I've had a similar epiphany for clerics, that they're not these like knights, that they're like the bowl cut Franciscans that are just, what are you doing in this party? Like, why are you on this mission in the first place? So I've taken to playing clerics a lot more with that in my head. Dieter, you're smiling about this.
So I took the assignment a little further, and I came up with musical genres for each class.
Oh, give it to me, baby! Give it to me.
So we already talked about fighters. They're the like stoner metal. Wizards are rappers. Clerics, they don't. They can hit pretty hard, but they're not fighters. Yeah. So they're very traditional and safe, kind of like. So clerics are classic rock, just classic rock.
Sure.
Thieves can hit really hard, but they don't have the metal. So thieves are like punk folk.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Right. Okay. So elves then are a combination of wizard and fighter. So they're like the soundtrack to Judgment Night.
Okay, this is beautiful. Peter, well done. I have the coolest friends in the world. Oh, I love you guys. We only got a couple minutes left. Let's go around the table. What are you thankful for, Dr. Metal?
Thankful that I have friends like this to play crazy games with, talk about toys, music, goofiness, and movies, and just really happy.
Thank you. Dave, what are you thankful for?
Oh, man, I am thankful, like Metal said, for all my friends, but also for being able to finally pursue my dream I've had since I was 7 with the Games with Dave channel and get my voice out there and be doing it.
I'm really proud of you on many levels, Dave. Well
Thanks,
done.
Brother.
Neon Lord.
So big thing Puffy Coat Levi and I talked about at Gamehole Con was like the circle that we have. Like we have the best role-playing game creator, fan, everything crew that we've amassed. It's like the coolest thing ever. Like, we talk about like anything from like G.I. Joes for like 20 like hours in a row with Doc Metal, to like ridiculous Joey music, to like Levi's Great Garloo. Like, it's fantastic that we all get like this weird niche of a community, and we're all like together in it, and it's fantastic.
Thank you. Levi.
Oh, I'm just constantly thankful for everything, but I'm thankful for my family, my health, my friends, especially this wonderful group of people that has sprung up around me in the last 5 or 6 years, that we can envision things in our heads. They're just ideas. And then 6 months later, we're holding them in our hands.
Yeah.
People, it goes out into the world. People play them. It gets passed on. People play our games. People enjoy the things that we just 6 months ago was just an idea. And now they're things that they've given birth into the real world. And I think that's something that is really, really thankful. I'm so happy to be a tiny, tiny part of that, creative zeitgeist.
Well said. Dieter.
Like some others said, like the community. I am thankful for this community. just having the opportunity to combine games and music, the two things that I love the most, and talk about them, and people care what I say about it. Like, that's awesome. That is an awesome opportunity. I love all these people, and I'm also thankful for my cats.
Yeah, nice. How about you, Elena? Always working.
Transition. I think you can hear me now,
Yeah.
but I am only in mono, so now I'm fixed. Okay, now everybody can hear me. For me, I'm like you guys. I'm thankful for this ragtag group of friends that I've made in this awesome community. You know, I've never come across a person that I don't love, and you know, I feel the same love that I've been putting out there coming right back at me, and nothing is. Oh God, it's gonna make me tear up. But nothing is. I am no more thankful. You know, for that than you guys. And you know, for my family, and you know, I'm with Dieter, my cats as well. They've gotten me through dark times.
Yeah. Thank you. And I'm grateful, like everybody said, not only for my blood family, but my gaming family, my creative family. You know, I've had some beautiful friends throughout my entire life, but like with a lot of people, as Stephen King says, a lot of them come in and out of your lives like busboys, and that quote has always hit me kind of hard. But for the first time in my life, I have a group of friends that are with me through thick and thin, and I know we'll be friends for a lifetime. We know about each other's families. We know and help each other through pretty significant struggles. And I really feel that I have a really good crew and safety net of people that I love dearly. And all of you on this show are part of that crew. So thank you very much. Thank you, Joseph Goodman. I'm very grateful for the community that you've built, your kindness, your approachability. You've really planted a beautiful garden that we're all thriving in. And before we go on that note, one more word from Epictetus, friends. Never suppress a generous impulse. Follow through on all your generous impulses. Do not question them, especially if a friend needs you. Act on his or her behalf. Do not hesitate. Don't sit around speculating about the possible inconvenience, problems, or dangers. As long as you let your reason lead the way, you will be safe. It is our duty to stand by our friends in their hour of need. Folks out in Spaghetti Land, if you ever need anything, regardless of the time of day, LordBlood, LORDBLUDD @gmail.com. We all love you. None of you are alone. And in the words of Mr. Fred Rogers, I love you just the way you are. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Everybody on the show, thank you. I had a blast. Ciao, paisans! It's turkey time, you turkeys! Love you all. Good night.